Hey, the Epstein issue is getting big again, huh? And it should be. A lot of people are writing articles about Epstein being bigger than it is and helping people think, showing people what to think. And within the short period of Wednesday morning, after seeing Silver struggles to come back, I see Epstein is being connected to Putin and Russia. It looks like Russia is the scapegoat for all of the Epstein angle. But I just want to return back to basic here. What's important about the Epstein file is the treason. We have American who plotted against Americans. We have FBI, the premier Department of Justice agency and institution that's supposed to go after people who plot to harm Americans and the U.S. Constitution and U.S. government, blah, blah, blah. But what everyone is ignoring, they're ignoring the fact that these are Americans who committed treason and are not in jail. Even if they're not convicted, they should still be locked up or investigated. But that's not the case. They should all be waiting on trial, but that's not the case. So upsetting. But I want to pull the Epstein issue back to where it belongs. The Epstein file shows the evidence for treasons against the United States of America, the American people, the U.S. Constitution. That is the significant. The sex ring, yeah, it's horrible. They should be punished like criminals. But treason is a lot more important. Uh, Very serious issues, and I love how the media is spinning this. The word Epstein was a Russian's asset. I'm not buying it. Are you? But a lot of people are so gullible. They easily railroaded into buying a lot of shit. So they would say, so a tactic I learned that AI uses is to mirror their audience. So then all of this writer on Substack mirroring the audience emotional template, looking at the horrible cases with Epstein, sympathizing and empathizing with the audience, and then spin it toward, hey, look, he's a Putin spy. Well, I call shenanigan on that. We have traitors and they wear U.S. citizenship. Forget about Putin. Where was the CIA? Do they even serve a purpose? If they don't serve a purpose, get the fuck out and give us a refund. Where's the FBI in all this? Are they going to do their job? If not, give us a refund and get the fuck out. Go find a new job. Maybe at a brothel, a male prostitute, a female prostitute, whatever. Legalize prostitution and let them go be a prostitute. But the FBI and the CIA should not be receiving funding for not doing their job. And they should not be receiving funding, especially for committing treasons. Oh my God. What a funny situation the US is in. When Putin say the US has a complicated complex system, it doesn't really do justice to the situation. It is complicated, it is complex because now you have traitor running the country and they are considered patriot. They call themselves patriot and the media paint them as patriot. And then a lot of people believe the media. They would point to the fact that all of these people are saying XYZ. Look at all of these famous people saying it's a Russian spy, it's Russian asset. But I don't understand how they are so dumb as to forget the fact that we have Israel running the country. It's not Putin running the country. It's Israel that's running America. It's Israel that's buying all the congressmen and the lawyers. Like, look at that Palm Bondi. In her entire career, what have she done? And if you manage to dig up her childhood, it's even worse. But just look at the professional career of a lawyer who became the head lawyer for the country. What have she done besides cover up for rich people? While she was Attorney General for the state of Florida, she uses the taxpayer government's money to pay for her membership at lobbyist convention. Lobbyist convention is another term for this is the bribe session. You go there, you rub shoulder, and you collect money. It's like borderline illegal criminal activities, and she uses the government's money to pay for that. Like if she wants to be a member, she should quit her job first and then pay out of pocket. I don't think the attorney general should be, sleeping with the lobbyists. They should be prosecuting them. Oh my God! And then she became elected as the attorney general for the country. And the moment I saw that, I'm like, oh, she's going down the toilet for the past 10 years since 2013. I realized that a lot of traitors are getting away with crimes that we used to punish with death sentences. But now it's just like, oh, whatever. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And now with the Epstein file, look at it. The Epstein file is out. The evidence is out. But is any criminals inside jail? No. So the fact of the matter is, yeah, we're angry. We have all of this people talk about it, but we're not angry enough. No one's being mobbed. No one's being tarred and feathered. It's a it's basically a hopeless situation. Correct. Once upon a time, we would have tarred and feathered these people. In Thailand, I saw a clip where the man was not doing the horrible stuff in the Epstein file. All he did was sleep with someone's wife, and the community chased him down and chopped him up with machete. Like he was brutally mutilated and killed by the entire village just for infidelity and the male and female stuff. Were really light stuff, but it violated the trust and the integrity of the community. They mobbed him, but who have we mobbed? The only people that get mobbed are the protesters in Minnesota. What the hell is that? And then there's no consequences afterward. So then, who are the people that are still defending America? Well, you should find them soon. I have distanced myself from most people because everyone is fake. Andrew Yang, he talks about math, but then his math say one thing today and different things tomorrow. So that was a huge disappointment. It's really hard for me to kind of trust any national leader at this point because they all fake. They say the proper things because the algorithm tell them that this is what you say to get the maximum exposure and fellowship and followership. But then they are like AI chatbot. They say things that they're programmed to. They don't actually have real principles. Real men have died for their belief and principle. So if you could find like a true man, those are the people that you should build around yourself. Because the rest are fake. They take you for a ride, waste your money and resources. And all of these protesters against ICE, I feel bad for them because I feel like they're part of the Andrew Yang gang that put all of their money and faith and energy into it, and then he just surrendered to Hillary Clinton. I was a Republican all of my life for a very simple reason. I was military. And for lack of loyalty to any specific group, I figure Republican are loyal to military. So I return the favor by being a Republican, a very basic transactional thank you and gratitude. Beyond that, I don't really have a strong political allegiance to any group. But in 2020, I changed my voting status into the Democrat so that I could help Andrew Yang. I signed up for everything that I could sign up to do. I signed up for the caucus, and I was prepared to travel to serve the cause, to make my sacrifice for the cause. But I didn't realize that he was just there to distract and detract the voters from the Republican. He was basically a surrogate for the Democrat. He was sent out to, attract certain people and then deliver them to the DNC. Sort of like a lot of the writer right now on Substack telling you that, hey, look, hey, this is horrible. You should be upset. Oh, by the way, he's a Russian spy. And a lot of people fall for this, sadly. Their mind is not discerning enough to defend against someone, hooking their emotion and then leading them for a path. And now, we're together. We travel this road along this article. I hated Epstein. I think it's horrible. We are the same. We think Epstein's horrible. Hey, but listen, he's a Russian spy. And then people would just eat that up without any discernment. Pretty horrible situation. And the education and lifestyle that Americans have tend to facilitate this. Ever since childhood, everyone have followed the authority. As an adult in 2020 during the pandemic, everyone was parroting what the authority said. The authority would say mask is good, and everyone would just stop mobbing people who don't wear masks. I didn't really wear masks because I'm exposed to a lot of stuff before, tuberculosis, and I realized how silly it is. The mask is. It doesn't really serve a practical purpose for me. I also had a lot of training in sea burning, and for those who don't know, the U.S. have been an expert at studying, predicting, and planning on how to respond to a lot of attacks. CBRNE stand for chemical, biological, radio, and nuclear. And I am sort of like a specialist in nuclear energy detection. So during the 2020, what happened is no one gave a shit that I work in nuclear treaty monitoring, a core component of CBRNE. I should be consulted regarding, how to protect and defend against a chemical biological attack. Now, to be fair, I'm weak in those. I wouldn't be able to serve that role. But a lot of the people on the outside who have never done any scientific work, they just take whatever the official narrative is and believe that anyone who think contrary, stupid and idiots. But the fact is, I'm not the idiot here. I'm the one who work in the scientific field. I monitor for this stuff for 11 years. I wouldn't be the stupid one in California. But everyone who listened to the authority would just declare that that is the holy grail of truth, and everyone else are stupid. And now with the Epstein case, a lot of people are unable to take matter into their own hand. So they gravitate toward all type of emotional safe haven to feel safe, to have a place, a shoulder to cry on. But the thing with the Epstein file, you don't want a shoulder to cry on. You need to go out and do something to somebody. If your daughter is being raped by all of these people, you should do something. Like don't just cry about, oh, this is so sad. Oh yeah, it's sad, but who's gonna pay for this crime? Epstein's not the only one. His lawyer. So the lawyer that facilitated him and his lifestyle, that Pam Bondi, who's doing something to Pam Bondi? She's still there, getting paid to defend the American against the people like Epstein. But in fact, she's rubbing shoulder with the people like Epstein. As a matter of fact, she worked for one of them called Donald Trump. And what have anyone done about it? What have the FBI done about it? What have the CIA done about it? Hey, they kidnapped the president of Venezuela. Couldn't they do something similar against criminals? The CIA assassinated head of state everywhere. They assassinated criminal. They couldn't assassinate someone like Epstein. They could, but they don't want to. Why? Because Epstein is a CIA asset too. They all like fucked up right now because I don't even know who the CIA work for. I don't know who the FBI work for, but it looks like they're working for the enemies. If the CIA and the FBI are working for the enemies of the country and of the people, harming the country, harming the people, who's going to protect the country against them? Have you heard anything from the military? Yeah, the DOD and the Department of we call Defense. Now the Department of War. We pay so many of them every month and every year. And what have they done? Do you think you're wasting your money? I think you are. So the American people are going to either take back the power that they're given away, they fix the country, or they are going to be forced to go to war, a war that they didn't vote for, a war that they don't want to go to, like the Vietnam War. A lot of children will be drafted. You have to serve in the military. You have to go kill people. And if you say no, we lock you up or beat you up. And the protester, guess what? If you have missed out on the history lesson in Vietnam War, look at the ICE. The ICE, I don't know what they call them, the ICE terrorists. They are giving you a frontal view of the Vietnam War protests. During the Vietnam War protests, they terrorized the protester. They strip search the students. They rape the students mentally and physically. You're dealing with the same issue now. But I suppose the government have learned from Vietnam War. They are doing the terrorizing before the draft, so that during the draft you wouldn't protest. Maybe that's the plan, right? Because we know that during the war, the American military is going to be short of body, and they are going to want your daughter and son to feel the billet. They have to go fight the war. So you could fight the war now at home, take back your country, or you could have your son and daughter fight the war overseas and die in a place that they don't belong. It's horrible. So this whole Epstein file is really about treason. Okay, it's been so long that anyone think about treason, they don't understand the concept. They may look up the word treason in the dictionary, but they don't understand the seriousness of treason. To plot against your country and cause a lot of harm for your country. Vietnam War was essentially treason because the American people don't want it. The government at the time don't want the Vietnam War, but it happened anyway. You know why it happened? Because somebody in the CIA wanted it to happen. They killed Captain Donovan so that way they could start the Vietnam War. They killed JFK so that they could start the war. Those are treason, and it happened, and it got covered up. And then all the way up to 2026, all of these shits are being covered up. But it's not just basic criminal conduct. It's not basic grotesque stuff like eating babies and killing babies. These are things that harm the country and a lot of Americans. Altogether, the FBI should be knocking down door, locking people up. Hey, sit in jail while we wait, investigate. But no, you know what they're investigating? Protester of ICE. This is how fucked up everything is. So the Epstein file is related to ICE, but no one really talk about them in conjunction. But to me, it's all the same issue, right? You have a country that collect a lot of money because we collect this money to provide a service to the American people. But in actuality, it's just fraud. They take the money, but it's not doing anything. They're taking the money to buy maybe apartment in the new Gaza luxury complex. This is fraud. So Epstein file and the Epstein guy, he didn't just die and everything stopped. No, the Epstein guy still functioning. His network is still functioning. The FBI is still allowing them to function. You get this? The criminals was not prosecuted for 40 years. Now the evidence is in public view, and what's going on? Nothing. We could talk and we could cry about it, but nothing's gonna happen. So I suppose the military is the last hope for the Americans. If they don't do something, I don't know what else to do. Like I cannot do anything. I could go out and protest like Alex Preddy, right, and get shot. That's what I can do. But I don't like to get shot, so I don't want to go out there. And I don't think people should be shoving the phone at the faces of this ICE agent. Like, look, if I was an ICE agent, and I'm not saying I will be, but if I was them and you shove your phone in my face, I will break your arm. So I don't know who trained all this protest, this color revolution. Don't be an idiot and go out there and make yourself a sacrifice for the people who don't give a shit about you. This Democrat movement, the anti MAGA thing. I'm not pro MAGA, but you could be pro MAGA, but don't be an idiot and die for no reason. All of these people who are asking you to to play the color revolution, and if you don't know what color revolution is, you should look it up. Essentially, right now, the protester are the color revolutions that have been used to overthrow governments from around the world. American don't know this, but every other government knows this. Russia knows this, China knows this, Vietnam knows this. American don't know this. Maybe they don't read, I don't know, but time to start reading about color revolution. And if you're going to play a part of this color revolution, you should probably know that you are playing a part of the color revolution. And as a participation of a color revolution, you don't want to be the guy that gets shot first. If you want to play, maybe you want to play the guy in the background, the guy that makes a report. Hey, look, the protester got shot by ICE. We showed them how to, instigate the issue and get shot. They got shot. Look, everyone should feel pity for them. Yeah, I really don't want anyone to play the role that gets shot. And color revolution is also treason. Okay, even though it carried the tone of, oh, this is a non-violent protest, but essentially your work is to overthrow a government. Anytime you overthrow a government, you're asking the government to kill you. So non-violent protest is a form of um, pressure on the government. You could do it to some extent, and they tolerate it to some extent based on the culture. Vietnam is different, China is different, US is different. You cross the line to kill you. And right now, ICE have been given permission to kill you. So if you're gonna do something like this, at least don't make it easy easier to die than like it is already. Like shoving phone in their face, like touching them. These are automatic death sentences from what I've seen. And you could do your protest without touching them, right? I don't know. But find a way to not die. And if you're gonna die, at least die for your own principle, but not die because somebody tell you to go die for a cause that they don't believe in. So a lot of the Democrats, they don't believe in the protest. I was the American veteran for 11 years. I was harmed. Where was my GoFundMe? Where was the fucking Democrat when I needed? Where is the Asian people? Where's the American Asian Pacific Islander political group? They don't care about my case. As a matter of fact, I think a few months ago, 2 months ago, they heard that I was a victim of hate crime, so they wanted to tell my story. But then after they found out that I'm too vocal, I'm not a model minority. They don't want to platform me. They say, well, I don't really fit. I don't really align with them. So what is a model minority? What is a model minority victim for the AAPI? What is that? Huh? I don't know. But anyway, all of these people are fake, from Asian to Asian support to lawyer for Asian. I don't really believe in any of them. ACLU, all of this organization, they suck up a lot of money. They suck up your time and resources, but they don't actually do what they say they do. When they say they defend Asian, ask them, hey, You say you defend Asian. What about Staff Sergeant Con Pham, who worked for the U.S. Air Force for 11 years? How have you defended him? If they say nothing, that's your fact right there. I'm a living fact. Some people have supported me, some people don't. And most of the organization and people you heard on the news and popular social media that they support and defend Asian, defend victims of hate crimes. Well, I was a victim of hate crimes. Where are my defender? Where are the people that give voices to people like me? Since 2013, they have 11 years, 13 years to act. FBI, the average is 5 years to build a case. Well, they have more than 10 years. Where is my case? They don't have one. So the FBI don't actually defend justice. They don't actually get justice for victims. So who's gonna do that? The military? Well, the military have about 10 years or more now. Have they done anything about my cases? No. Well, maybe I should. Maybe it's time that I ask for help from outside the country. Yeah. How logical is that? Am I being radical to seek help when my family cannot provide it? If my family cannot help me, do I have enough reason to go seek help from outside of my family? So the traitors and the Epstein files, these are serious, serious issues. And I think all of the people who are just helping people see this as Epstein work for Russia is omitting 99% of the relevant facts. The relevant facts that we have criminals and they are being supported by our current Justice Department. A lot of people will need to go to jail for this. Like if we jail 100% of the senators and 100% of the White House staff, from Bill Clinton, Obama to Trump to Biden, uh, I'm okay with that. You know, if the military rounds everybody up, okay, we're gonna lock everybody up. We're gonna launch a criminal investigation. We're gonna restart the government again with the same framework. The Constitution still work. We're gonna have the judges, the Congress, and the White House, but we're just gonna have new people. Everybody that have been here before is gonna be tainted. We can no longer trust you. We have brand new election, set up a new cycle. Wouldn't that be great? A fresh start for a country that is on its deathbed. Stop trying to infect the world with like our disease. I mean, just let the old people die. If they're in their 90s, maybe they don't have any relevancy left in this current age in 2026. They may have an opinion, but that doesn't represent the rest of us. Maybe they should retire. And the people who rape children, maybe they don't belong in government and they just need to get out, step out, or be taken out by any mean because really every single day that they stay alive and in government office is kind of like a spit in our face. Like if you take the U.S. flag out right now and you like take a dump on it and spit on it, that's what the Epstein file is doing right now. Anyone who love the country, anyone who have like this idolization of the U.S. flag and believe in it and respect it, like this whole event is like spitting on it, like shedding on it, and then no one's doing anything about it. It's so upsetting. But I just really want to emphasize that the shit that we're looking at are treason. People have plotted against this country and against the people of this country, including the rapists. And then somebody needs to be accountable, and that somebody is about 100% of the U.S. Government, all of the senator, all of the Congress people, all of the White House, all of the military. Like we start hanging people until the whole system is clean. It's like a dialysis for the society. Like somebody got to do this stuff. And right now, I'm sort of powerless. The most I can do is give voice to the issues, identify myself as a victim, kind of like Epstein victim. I wasn't raped in that way, but I was raped in a different way, mind rape, psychological torture. I was illegally detained for 4 months. I have all of the evidence. It's easy to convict a lot of these people. And the people that violated me, they have less power than Epstein and Donald Trump. But the FBI still don't do shit about it because it's almost like the KKK are running the FBI and the CIA. Like the conversation between Steve Bannon and Epstein talking about how Asians are still eating rats. This 1970 mindset is still alive. It needs to be sanitized. I was in a diplomatic security briefing, and they were telling me shits that were like horror movie stuff about the Vietnamese government. And then I was like, this is insane. I'm like, I called a senior security advisor over, like, look, dude, are you aware of what they are briefing me about the diplomatic security? He's like, oh yeah, we probably haven't updated since the 70s. Just go through it. It's okay. If you know it's wrong, shouldn't you fix it? Uh, I don't know. Anyway, mind blowing stuff. So this is the entire system of the U.S. Okay, so many component of it is like 1970s stuff. Incredibly outdated men. Okay, I'm also sympathetic to men. I came from Vietnam, which is a male chauvinistic society. Men makes all the rule and women serve them. Anyway, it's not great for a woman there, but it changed a lot. So I know that within the past, 50 years, 70 years, culture have shifted very rapidly and very fast. And if you study culture, culture takes like 500 years or so to change. So it's very unfair to accuse all of these men that grew up in the 70s for being men that grew up in the 70s. I'm sympathetic to that. But at the same time, we all should also be aware that we're no longer in 1970. The mindset of the male macho thing, man make the rule and woman have to listen, etc. It doesn't work anymore, and society have moved on. So we should accept that society move on, and we should not allow these people to kind of embarrass themselves and embarrass the country by bringing the 1970 mindset back to the 2026. It's dangerous and irresponsible. And then when you apply it the way Epstein and friends are doing it, that's treason. I want people to do jail. I want to see public execution now. Um, I'm waiting for more serious thing to happen because the ICE reign of terror. I think that's just the beginning. I think we're gonna look at civil war here, and in the civil war, where we're gonna have the half of the American takes up gun and shoot the other half. So the stuff that you see in ICE, you're gonna see both sides doing it to each other. So that would be civil war, right? And during a civil war, I now have legal rights to shoot my enemy, right? Right now, I'm peaceful because I can't really do much. But in a civil war, I have a lot of freedom to go shoot the people who harm me. I have just cause and I have legal cover, right? Like the Epstein legal cover from Palm Bonding. So yeah, think about Epstein as treason. All of these people have to stand trial for treason. How have they harmed the American? How have they harmed the government? How have they harmed the rule of law? How have they harmed all of these children? I mean, they should link it up. We need more accountability. And then we need to separate the traitors from the people who are actually protecting this country. And if there's any questions or difficulty in figuring out how to discern between a traitor and a patriot or a Truman, hey, come talk to me. Look at who helped me and who have harmed me. The people who helped me, we could say the patriot, they live a true life, and the people who harm me, we have evidence that they committed treason because they harmed a U.S. government official and prevented him from carrying out official duty. They prevented me from protecting the country. So that is ground for treason. And I hope that a lot of the cases like myself will come forward. I know many of them have went silent, like myself have went silent for many years. I know there was a colonel in the U.S. Air Force. She did 18 years, and then her boss grabbed her boob, and she complained about it. She basically filed an official complaint. So instead of firing her boss, they fire her. So I talked to her mom, who was like 80 something, and she was like 63 in like about 10 years ago. At 63, she still have tears coming down because of that incident. If she talks about it, like I'm talking about my incident, she will have tears come down because she dedicated her life to a career, 18 years. And then it ended because somebody tried to sexually assaulted her and she dared to complain about it. Like I dare to complain about white people stepping on me. And then I was fired because of that. I was accused of being a Chinese spy because I dare stood up to a white man and say, "Hey, look, that's wrong." This is the society we live in. And unless people are held accountable, the people who commit treason are held accountable. The people who are traitor are held accountable. We're looking at civil war. And I don't mind picking up guns and fighting in a civil war. And a lot of people are waiting for a civil war so they can participate. So hopefully, we could settle justice in a court of law. Because if we don't, then we have to settle justice outside the court. And if it's outside the court, hey, may the best man win, right?